A man spent 13 years in prison because the woman he loved stood in a courtroom and told the judge he was guilty. He had killed someone, yes, but not the way she described it, not for the reasons she gave, not even close. When he finally escaped, he told himself that love was finished. He told himself all he wanted was revenge, to drag her into the same kind of ruin she had dragged him into and leave her there. What he did not know yet was that the testimony she gave had been the only thing standing between him and a police bullet in the street, and that the woman who had sent him to prison was now quietly running out of time. 13 years into his sentence, Hari was still in prison when Isak Bai came to visit him. During their conversation, Hari admitted that he had not been able to forget someone, even after everything. That admission opened a door to the past, and the story behind it was not simple. 13 years earlier, Hari had been deeply in love with a woman named Saraswati. She came from a wealthy and influential family. He came from a lower caste background with no money and no standing that her family would recognize. They both understood that the relationship could not be made public, not yet, and so they communicated through signals and carefully timed meetings that nobody around them was supposed to notice. On Hari's birthday, Saraswati organized a blood donation camp in his name. She could not give him a gift in the open, so she gave him something that carried her feelings without requiring an explanation. Their plan was straightforward. Hari needed to become financially stable enough for her to be able to introduce him to her family as someone serious. She started teaching him to drive, because the two of them had a dream of running a travel agency together. He made constant mistakes behind the wheel. She got frustrated. He found ways to make her laugh anyway. Saraswati's family background made the situation complicated in ways beyond the caste difference. After her father's death, her elder brother had become the head of the household and carried that responsibility in a way that made Saraswati unwilling to cause him pain. Whatever she did, it had to be done carefully. Hari's background was simpler and sadder. He had lost both parents as a child and lived in a rented room at the home of a young woman named Mali, who was like a sister to him and worked as a tutor. On Saraswati's birthday, Hari went to a temple expecting to find her alone. She arrived with her entire family. They managed a brief private conversation during which she told him to go home and prepare the surprise he had planned. She would come to him later. He told her the surprise was going to be something she would not forget. She left, and what came next was not a surprise. While Hari was at home, Mali got into a confrontation outside. She was arguing with someone about caste, refusing to accept the assumptions being thrown at her. Then Ranga and his men arrived. Without warning, they attacked Mali. Hari ran outside. The men turned on him as well, beating him and warning him to stay away from Saraswati permanently. Then Ranga turned back toward Mali and began behaving in a way that made clear what he intended to do to her. Hari saw it. He fought back with everything he had. The confrontation spiraled past the point of control. By the time it was over, Ranga was dead. Saraswati arrived at that exact moment and saw it all. The police came shortly after. Saraswati gave a statement. She told the authorities that Hari had been assaulting Mali and that when her brother and Ranga tried to intervene, Hari attacked them and killed Ranga. Hari was convicted and sent to prison. The woman he loved had put him there. He sat with that for 13 years and never found a way to make it make sense. Back in the present, Hari told Isak Bai that he wanted to get out and live again. The COVID pandemic had changed the prison system in ways that created an opportunity. Inmates were being transferred between facilities to manage overcrowding and social distancing. Hari planned to use a transfer as the moment to escape. Isak Bai arranged the logistics from the outside. When the transfer van stopped at a railway crossing, the vehicle became trapped on the tracks after being quietly sabotaged. The officers unlocked the doors to get everyone out before the train arrived. Hari walked to a waiting motorcycle and disappeared. At Isak Bai's hideout, the plan was simple. A hospital in the city was hiding enormous amounts of black money. Corrupt administrators were stealing from patients during the pandemic and moving the cash out through ambulances. If Hari robbed that hospital, he would have enough money to leave India permanently and start a new life in Dubai. But before any of that, Hari wanted to know what had happened to Saraswati. What he found was not what he expected. Saraswati was now living with her daughter Chinni and her husband Bhaskar. Bhaskar was admitted to a hospital with a serious heart condition. He needed a transplant, and the surgery cost was enormous. The insurance company had initially agreed to cover it, and then canceled the claim using COVID complications as justification. Saraswati had already mortgaged her home. She had asked friends and relatives for help. Nobody had come through. A small moment of hope appeared when a close friend's father passed away, creating the possibility of a heart donation. The doctors rejected it. The man was too old and his blood group did not match. Then Saraswati discovered that the heart had actually been sold to someone else privately, with the hospital management pressuring the family into it. The friend broke down when confronted, explaining that she had felt she had no choice. The hospital told Saraswati that finding another suitable heart would cost between 80 lakh and 1 crore rupees. It was an amount she could not come close to affording. Hari had been watching all of this. He went to Saraswati directly. She stared at the man she had sent to prison standing in front of her after 13 years, and she had no words for it. He told her about the hospital, about the black money moving through ambulances, about what he knew, and what he was planning to do about it. He also told her the truth about her friend and the stolen heart. Then he laid out his offer. If the two of them robbed the hospital together, there would be enough money for everything. Her husband's surgery, his escape to Dubai, all of it settled in one operation. What he did not tell her was the other reason he wanted her involved. He intended to let her get caught. He intended to make her suffer the consequences of a crime the way she had made him suffer. 13 years for something he had done to protect Mali, traded against whatever sentence would come from this. Ishak Bai knew the plan and agreed to help anyway. Saraswati thought it over for a long time. In the end, she said yes. For Bhaskar, for Chinni, for the only way out she could see. Before the heist, Saraswati dropped Chinni at school and noticed the girl wearing a chain around her neck. Chinni mentioned it was something her father had given her. Saraswati took it and kept it safe. That detail meant nothing to her yet. The heist was straightforward in structure. Saraswati would drive. Hari would go in and take the money. They entered the hospital's basement, where the hospital's owner and chief doctor Solomon Reddy happened to be present. Hari pulled a gun, took the bag, and they moved toward the exit. The staff gave chase immediately. Saraswati lost control of the car during the escape and crashed it. While she was gathering the scattered money from the ground with people rushing toward her, Hari faced a choice. He could leave her there. He could walk away and let the police take her and consider the revenge complete. He ran back and pulled her out. They took an ambulance and drove. Ishak Bai's men arrived in a second ambulance to create a diversion. They got away. But the money was far less than what they needed. Meanwhile, Inspector Swami had arrived at the crash scene. He had been suspicious of that hospital for some time, and the evidence in front of him confirmed it. No patient in the ambulance, bullet holes in the vehicle, a number plate that looked deliberately expensive. Solomon Reddy appeared and tried to convince him it was an ordinary accident. Swami refused the story. When Reddy offered him money to let it go, Swami refused that too, and promised to expose everything within 48 hours. Back at the hospital, Hari and Saraswati went in again, this time disguised as a doctor and a patient. Staff grew suspicious and surrounded Hari. Saraswati ran with the bag. For a moment, standing there surrounded with no way out, Hari felt the old wound open. She was running. Again. Then the elevator doors opened. Saraswati was standing inside holding a gun. This time was different. They fought through the men together and escaped. The police picked up their trail, and they hid near a temple while the chase organized around them. Inspector Swami arrived and used a loudspeaker to address the crowd, describing Hari's case to anyone who could hear. He spoke about the brave woman who had testified against Hari and helped bring him to justice. Those words hit Hari like a physical blow. He took Saraswati's jacket, mounted a motorcycle, and rode away alone to draw the police after him and away from her. Swami gave chase, and a fight broke out between them before Hari escaped. Swami, now certain a woman was helping Hari, went to the hospital to check the surveillance footage. Solomon Reddy had already cut all the camera connections. Swami dug into the past instead and traced a name from the prison visitor logs. A woman named Mali had once tried to visit Hari and had been turned away. Her name had been recorded. Swami and his daughter went to find her. At Ishak Bai's hideout, the money was counted. The amount was far larger than expected, several crores. Enough for Dubai, enough to disappear completely. Hari told Ishak Bai to deposit the entire amount into a bank account and deliver the card to Saraswati so she could pay for the surgery. When Ishak Bai asked what that meant for Dubai, Hari had no answer that required explanation. The man who had escaped prison to take revenge had just given away everything that revenge was supposed to buy. While going through the bag, Hari found a chain. He knew it immediately. Years before he went to prison, he had bought that chain as a birthday gift for Saraswati. He never got to give it to her. He went to prison the same night. He had no idea what had happened to it. Then he remembered something Chinni had said that morning. She had complained about the chain hurting her neck, and Saraswati had removed it and told her it was the chain her father had given her. Bhaskar had given Chinni a chain that Hari had bought for Saraswati. Hari went directly to the hospital and found Bhaskar's room. Under significant pressure, Bhaskar began talking. At the same time, across the city, Mali was telling Inspector Swami the same story. On Saraswati's birthday, when Hari met her briefly at the temple, Bhaskar had been watching. He filmed the meeting secretly. He He took the footage to Ranga and told him that Saraswati was in a relationship with a lower caste man and that if it became known, the family's reputation would be destroyed. He framed it as concern. What he actually wanted was for Hari to be removed permanently from the picture, because Bhaskar was in love with Saraswati himself and intended to marry her. Ranga went to Hari's house and did what he had been manipulated into doing. He attacked Mali, he beat Hari, and when he turned toward Mali with intentions that were obvious, Hari killed him. Bhaskar watched all of it from his car and felt nothing except relief. After the killing, Saraswati's family used their political connections to instruct the police to eliminate Hari entirely. Officers went to Mali and threatened to kill her and stage her death as a suicide if she did not testify that Hari had attacked her. Terrified, she gave the statement they wanted. When Saraswati learned what her family had ordered, she begged them to stop. Nobody listened. The police were prepared to shoot Hari when Saraswati told her family that if anything happened to him, she would take her own life immediately. They stopped, but they required something in return. She had to promise never to contact Hari again, and she had to give a statement that would put him in prison, where he would be alive and where they could control the situation. Prison was the only outcome that kept him breathing. Saraswati testified against the man she loved to save him from being killed in the street. She married Bhaskar under family pressure, never knowing that he was the person who had engineered everything from the beginning. When Hari finally absorbed all of this, he turned his fury on Bhaskar. He told Bhaskar that a man responsible for that level of destruction did not deserve a new heart. He deserved none of what was being done to save him. Then Bhaskar told him something that stopped everything. The heart transplant was not for him, it was for Saraswati. Hari stood there and thought back through everything. Saraswati's constant need for medication, the way she looked sometimes, the exhaustion she never explained. All of it arrived at once, and arranged itself into a shape he had not allowed himself to see. She had been the patient the whole time. She was the one dying. The surgery she had been so desperate to fund was her own, and everything she had done, the robbery, the risk, the exposure, she had done it for Chinni. If she died without the surgery, Chinni would be left with Bhaskar as the only parent. That was what she could not accept. Hari went to the hospital alone to warn her. She was not there. She had already gone back to steal the money herself. Saraswati had gotten into the hospital one final time and retrieved what she needed. As she moved toward the exit, a corrupt police inspector working under Solomon Reddy appeared and raised his weapon. Hari arrived in the same moment and stopped the shot before it connected. The corrupt inspector had already killed Ishak Bai and several others to erase every connection to the case. Hari and Saraswati fled together. In the car, with police behind them, Saraswati drove. She placed her hands over his on the wheel, the way she had during the driving lessons all those years ago, guiding him through something he still had not fully learned. When the police closed in, Hari told her to take the money and go. He told her to get to the hospital and get the surgery done. She refused. He forced the decision on her and made her leave. He stayed behind alone. Inspector Swami arrived before the other officers could open fire. By this point, Swami knew the truth. He knew Hari was innocent of the crime that had put him in prison. He told Hari to surrender. Hari said it did not matter anymore. He had already been shot. He was losing ground fast. He asked Swami to look after Saraswati once he was gone. He handed Swami the chain he had been carrying for 13 years, the gift he never got to give. Then he died on the street outside a hospital, full of the black money of people who had exploited a pandemic. In the weeks that followed, both Bhaskar and Saraswati recovered. Bhaskar had been suffering from serious lung complications, which had never been connected to the heart transplant story. He survived. Saraswati received a compatible heart and came through the surgery. Inspector Swami and his daughter came to visit her afterward. They told her everything. They told her that Bhaskar had been the person who filmed her and Hari at the temple, that he had gone to Ranga and deliberately provoked the attack, that he had watched Hari kill Ranga from inside his car and felt nothing except satisfaction, because the outcome was exactly what he had wanted. Saraswati listened until they finished. Then Swami placed Hari's chain in her hands. She went to Bhaskar. He admitted it without hesitation. Then, in the same breath, he said something so contemptuous and self-assured that it revealed the full shape of who he was. He asked her whether she had ever been intimate with Hari. He told her that if she had, she should keep it to herself, because what people thought of her mattered more than the truth of what he had done. Then he walked outside and began talking to people, as if the conversation had been entirely ordinary. Saraswati did not keep it to herself. She displayed a photograph of herself and Hari publicly, walked outside, and beat Bhaskar in front of everyone present. She told him exactly what kind of woman she was, and then she walked out of his life. Chinny found her outside and told her that Hari had once said there was something special hidden inside a toy rocket he had given her. Saraswati opened the rocket. Inside was a ring. On the night of Saraswati's birthday, 13 years ago, Hari had not come to the temple with a surprise. He had come to propose. The man she had watched kill someone in her sister's defense had been on his way to ask her to marry him when everything collapsed around them both. She broke down completely. Then came the final truth. Before he died, Hari had told Inspector Swami something. He and Saraswati shared the same blood group. His heart was compatible with hers. If she needed a transplant and his body was available, the match was there. The heart that was now keeping Saraswati alive was Hari's. He had found one last way to stay with her. Saraswati placed the ring on her finger. And that was how a man who spent 13 years in prison for killing someone to protect a woman he loved ended up giving her the most permanent gift he had left, long after he had stopped being able to give her anything else.